Hello, it's me. I'm on my second round with this video. Something happened with my camera, and then I had trouble getting back on. So let's try again. This is part two of my um, video series I'm doing called My Colored Pencil Collections. Now, I had the first one the other day, and I mainly just discussed different various storage ideas I had had, none of which, zero, which have really worked with what I wanted. So I'm just going to go through my art cart starting today and show you things that I have gotten. The order of which I do this will not be organized like most people's collection videos. I'm just going to start and go. I'm not ordering it by price or preference or anything. Um, I did want to start with these two so you all would understand where I come from. My whole purpose in discovering all these different colored pencil tiers of, price and whatever, has been that I wanted to find something as good as these in a lower price range for folks who can't afford to do art with these. Art has brought me so much pleasure and relaxation and mental fun that I wanted everybody to be able to do it. So my whole purpose and what I have spent, I could have bought those large wooden boxes full of these expensive ones, but I have started out saying that I didn't think polyco- uh, polychromos and some of these were that much better than the others. Well, they are. Let's just be honest. Most of the time, you get what you pay for. Not always. Um, Faber-Castell is basically the king of the road with colored pencils and art supplies. They've been around, I think it was since the 16 or 1700s in Germany. The only one close to their level is Stedler, and they had been around a good while too. Um, the Prismacolors, just about everybody online, this is their, they go on and on about them. Early on in my art, I got some of these, and every time I would go to sharpen, they would break. And I was just to the point of, I was already frustrated, and I came out that I didn't really care for these. Well, along the road, I have learned what kind of pencil sharpeners work best with what, and I love Prismacolor now. Are they my favorite? No, they're really not. But I do enjoy using those and have figured out how to use them and sharpen them. There was a period, I think, a lot of people were complaining about the quality of the Prismas, that they were breaking when sharpened. Uh, I haven't had that trouble recently, so I have some in another container. These are my brand new ones. During Black Friday, I got these for like $33 for that whole set. But I wanted you to know that I do have the good ones, and I do acknowledge where several of these brands are concerned. You do, it is a higher echelon of colored pencil, and that's okay. But not everyone can or wants to pay that, and you can get some really good results with other ones. One of the ones I had heard in the budget pencils. Oh, the dog's going nuts again. Piper. I bet the UPS guy's here. Um, and the Artezas are pretty good. I do like them. I got these during a sale too. They're very difficult to put up. Then you can see I've used that one a lot, but they are pretty good pencils. I do want to try their watercolor ones that are supposed to be one of the best watercolor pencils. They are triangular. You'll notice. Look at the ends there. See. So I like these. They sharpen well. Um, Next in this little stack that came off my dresser was rose art. Now there's been a lot of, let me find the other, hold on. Rose Art and Crazy Art are made by the same company. It's a long, interesting history. The Rose Art people sold Rose Art to, I think, Mattel or somebody, and they started Crazy Art. And then in the meantime, they bought Rose Art back from whoever had Rose Art at the time. Um, I bought these at Ollie's. I don't know if they're like from an older lot or the newer lot or what. So in fairness to Rose Art, these these gave me a lot of problems with sharpening. They have a beautiful laydown, and I have older Rose Arts that they do. They have a nice, pretty laydown. Their crayons I wasn't too wild about, but Rose Art, these you can see I've had a lot of sharpening issues. When you see that, the Crazy Arts. I bought this set at a thrift store, so I really don't know if they're current or what. They're nice. They do sharpen well. I don't know. They just don't. I'm not going to get real excited about them. What I've ended up doing with these is letting my little grandson use them when I'm over there. But I've got Rose Art and Crazy Art right here. My older Rose Arts, like I said, I like them a whole lot better than these. Um, this I have not done anything with yet. I got this. I don't even know what kind of sale it was. They were like $5, and now I think they're like up in the 30s. It has regular colored pencils, watercolor pencils, charcoal pencils, plain graphite pencils, and graphite charcoal. Yeah, that's four. And there's like a theme with what you're doing with each one, which involves these mandalas, drawing pencils, coloring pencils, watercolor pencils, charcoal pencils, a metallic. Yeah, there's your metallic pencils. And I haven't done anything with this yet. I haven't even done a review on it yet. So that will be coming up on my channel. And I'm going to move on over here. Let's see if I got all of those. Yeah. Um, Here's what I wanted to show you next. Now, this little roll thing, I only bought this one, and I wish I had bought all rolls instead of those cases. They take up so much less room, and I wanted to find. These are one of my favorite pencils. These are the uh, Mark Cezanne, and they run about 14 something for 24 of them. They're not terribly expensive, and I think I got a deal on these, but I'm just getting some of them out. These are really nice pencils. I, as far as like really enjoying using, I enjoy using these. And I asked the AI on the Amazon site if they were light fast, and it talked like they were to a degree. There's not a number that specifies how light fast, but I think that these came through. I don't. It's one of those either Blix or that Artorama or something. But I love these pencils, and they are Mark Cezanne is what the name of them is. I do love them, and I have worn some of these down to the nub, so I really need to get another one. Uh, Next in this little case are Mr. Pen. Now, Mr. Pen, these were just like right at $5. They have two tiers of colored pencils. One is like 75 cents more than the other one. I haven't tried the lower grade, but these are nice pencils. And I discovered Mr. Pen. They sell a lot of Bible journaling things and Christian oriented things. And these are nice pencils. I'm pleased with these for $5 and I think 36 cents or something. I like these, and they feel good in your hand. Um, all those are Mr. Pen. There's Mark Cezanne. I think that's all that's in here. It's Mark Cezanne and Mr. Pen. And this little thing is easy to unroll and roll, and I suggest, and they're cheaper than the other cases too. I suggest if you're looking at cases to go that route. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Okay, these right here, I just got a few weeks ago, and they're from a company. It says Art Track on it. Uh, I don't think that's the name of them, but you've probably seen the box on Amazon now. And I got these on Black Friday on sale for $3 and something. And I really like these. And they're not $3 and something now, but they're really very nice pencils. I was thinking there was also another company name. I don't know. But anyway, these are available right now. I think it's like $7, something like that. And these might be the ones that had the name Skyway or something, Sky Hope or Hope Sky or something like that. I think that was the name of what it had. I can't remember, but I'll show you the box and you'll know to look for those. Those are really good. And these are budget pencils. They're not going to be just like your Polychromos or something, but I really do like those. Okay. Now, these also, most of what I have either came from Amazon or a thrift store, and I'll discuss the thrift store stuff on another video. But these are watercolor pencils. This one, these are from the same company. I think I actually ordered this one by accident. Here's the name brand. I don't know how it is pronounced. Ayan Sean. These were the Macaron watercolor pencils that I got by accident, and I really like them. So I'm glad I got them. It's a happy accident, like Bob Ross says. These were skin tone. I bought 2 of these. They were so cheap, and now they're not so cheap. But these are skin tones in that same Ian Sean thing, and I like these pretty well. I'd like to do portrait type things, mainly for my own enjoyment, sketching my grandchildren and stuff. And these have some pretty, that one particularly. I'm having trouble with some of the sets having colors that do skin tones. So these were pretty reasonable, very much budget, under $10. The way Amazon does their bargains, it's hard to do a video and tell you how much something costs because I don't know anymore. But I like those. I got 2 of those in this one. Now, I do video reviews of these pencils, but I buy my own. I don't take them from the companies because what happens, the only exception to that are some acrylic markers that I actually won on a site. And I did a review of them, and I loved them. Okay, while I'm discussing skin tones, I'll just get these right here out. And you'll notice I have some of mine in the original packaging and some I don't. It's just kind of, these are Master's Touch. These are the only Master's Touch that I own. That is from Hobby Lobby. There's an Arteza stuck in there. Don't know how that got in there. It goes in my Arteza box. Put it right here. But I like these. Okay. I may try a box of the Master's Touch regular colored pencils. I think they run like 11 something on sale. Those are pretty good. Here are the first skin colored pencils. One of the first that I got. These are there's 2 trays of those. They're actually Nione, which everybody talks about how they love Nione. I don't see that much Nione like just regular colored pencils. But these are the skin colors, and I like these. What I like about these is there's a lot of selection in blending and stuff, and instead of just maybe 3 or 4 different colors ways that you can go, there's lots of ways you can go with those. And I have learned too on some of these, put a rubber band around them if you're carrying them in your purse or whatever. Okay, this is not the correct container. This is some of my early Prismacolors. What I have stored in here are the Scholars, or Prisma Juniors, I think is what they're called. This is the student grade Prismacolors in, hold on, juniors, what they call them. And I have both the double-ended ones, and I have some like neon. At one time, a week or two ago, you could get a set of either the macaron like colors or the neons under $5. I'm trying to remember how much they were, and they are, you know, I don't tell that much difference from the regular Prismacolors. So, you know, I think the juniors would be a good beginning place to get some nice pencils. Okay, let me see what else I got here. Now, oddly, these two I got at a thrift store. These are the Caran d'Ache aquarels, and these I've used both with water and without. They're really good pencils. I don't use them a lot because I want to save them because, you know, for something kind of more important. These are good. If you can get your hands on these, you'll like them. These are Staedtlers. They're called Karat, Karat. Uh, these are also, you know, you can use with water or without. These pencils, and especially these, when you use these, you can tell these are a horse of a different color. They're very well made. Okay, I'll show you a few more and then we'll cut it off so it won't be so long today. Okay, what I have in this little bag are grayscale things. I have one set of pencils. I'm trying to think of the name. Hold on. Let me get my readers on. Master Art. And it was a set of pencils to do grayscale type black and white and gray drawings. And it had a real pretty blue in here that I used completely up. Um, I don't know where I got those. I ordered them off Amazon, and they're fun to use. And I intend to come back to these and do some more with those. Uh, this is a Derwent drawing pencil that I had stuck in there. Okay, these are the Tombow. Um, they're water-based markers, but they were grayscale, is what the name of the uh, ABT. I'm trying to think what the actual name of these were. Um, would I recommend these? They were expensive. They're expensive at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Uh, I probably wouldn't because it seemed like, especially the lighter colors, almost quickly lost their ink. I still use these, and you know they are what they are, but I probably wouldn't recommend for what you have to pay to get those, like the lighter off whites and things. They didn't hold their ink. Okay, I'm trying to get to the ones that are in their own packaging. Okay, here is one of my favorites. This one would be about on par with the Mark Cezanne's. These are Faber-Castell Goldfingers. Goldfingers. Boy, I'm about crazy. Gold Fabers. And these are like the step down from Polychromos, and that these are waxier than Polychromos. Um, there's some interesting things about these. I ordered another set of these. Faber-Castell has come out, at least what they say on Amazon. They have a new set of these. It just came in November. And they're supposed to be more like, it sounded like more like Prismacolor, but um, and I asked about the light fastness of those, which the company has always said they had good light fastness. There's no actual calculations or numbers or anything on there. But, and yes, they are very light fast, according to what the website said. And I wanted to draw your attention. Most of you probably watch, what's her name? Sarah Renee Clark. She does a lot of very detailed testing and stuff, and she did a Lightfast test of just about every colored pencil in the book. And the interesting part of her colored pencil, I mean, she got into the math and the science of it all. And actually, Goldfaber tested higher on light fastness than Polychromos did. And I found that, and I've heard that from another source. So I have decided financially, since I use so much, I mean, I don't, it's an obsession with me, the drawing. And I do go through my pencils. This is a more economical choice for me than Polychromos, and they're still good and they're still artist quality. So I do recommend these. Faber-Castell Goldfaber, not Goldfinger. That's a movie. James Bond here. Okay, let me show you these. These are in their own cases too. This was the first one of these little canisters that I got, and these are called Fun La Vie. And actually, they have gone up a lot in price from when I got these. And they are a budget pencil, but I like these pretty well. And they are very handy and have a pencil sharpener in the top. And this was another one that I bought, similarly packaged. I've got a kneadable eraser stuck up in there. It has the pencil sharpener too. I liked these. They're called W.A. Portman. There's the label. But you can't get these right now on Amazon because they took them off. Um, I like what these look like on paper. I like how they feel. I like how they everything. But um, there had been some bad comments on the reviews, and I think that's why they jerked these so quickly after they had just come on. And that's a loss to a lot of people because these were very reasonable, and they had larger sets. Um, One thing though that a lot of people get so torn up and upset about is there's no numbers or names on the barrel. You know, you get if you want all of that detail, you may have to pay a little more. You know, all of that costs money. But I really liked these and felt like they were a higher caliber of budget pencil. Um, W.A. Portman. Maybe they'll be back on Amazon. I really, really did like those. And they're handy also to carry with you. Um, okay, one more I want to show you, and then I'm going to go for today. One of my main hobbies, we've loved thrifting for most of our lives. My parents had an antique shop, so I kind of grew up in that atmosphere. Um, but we love thrifting. It used to be glassware, and before that, it was books. We go through these things, and it always comes back to haunt you, and you have to get rid of all that stuff. But anyway, right now for me, it's I love finding big bags and bundles of pencils and pens and different art supplies. I've done pretty well there. I got, I went to these containers a while back, and I got that one at the thrift store, but it did not have this stuff in it. These were in a bag that I got. And what I want to show you first are these weird pens that I got. And I could not figure these things out. And finally looked on Amazon. They're called infinity pens. And supposedly these little points don't wear out forever, hardly. And you have different color little points that you can put in there. But they come in a set. I've given a few of these away. Our little buddy next door was over here in from Alabama, and I gave him one. But you can put a different color in every pen if that's what you want to do. But the odd thing is, I thought you put them in this way, and that's the eraser. It's down in there. There's the eraser. And you don't go in that way. What you do, and I don't know that I'll be able to show you with my nails in the shape they are. this red thing lifts up. The silver part does not. It's the red thing. And you stick another one of those little pencil tips. I'll show you one of the pencil tips. It kind of explains how they go in. Uh, who I think those would be really good for would be like either Bible journaling or a teacher, to have. Well, here's what the little nibs on the top look like. And you just slide it up in that silver thing. But my nails are very weak where I've abused them the last several months. But so I found these very interesting. I don't know that they're anything that, that they're not bad. They would be good for a kid or for somebody who had grading to do. They're kind of, the pigment's not, you got to really push. But anyway, I found them interesting. And I got those in a thrift store, one of those bags of which I speak that I love to get. Um, okay, this was, okay, yeah, I got several of these in a couple of different bags. This is a Kodak colored pencil. Have never seen these. I got several of them. They're in my other container. The thing was, probably why they went out of business, almost every one I've got are cracked. See the crack? And Eastman Kodak has a big plant here where we live, but I had never heard of Kodak colored pencils, and I found that interesting. Okay, here's one of my favorite things. I got uh, two of these. These are charcoals. I like the ones called layout pencils. These are from a company called Generals, and I got two charcoal pencils in one of those bags of pencils at the thrift store. Generals, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think they're one of the last few, if not the only, manufacturer that does actual manufacturing in the United States. There might be one down in Tennessee in Shelbyville. I'm not sure. But there's very few left, and General is one of those. And if you like the General products, I'll tell you who has a whole lot of them are the Ben Franklin stores. They carry a lot of those. These were also in there, and I found them interesting. These are Crayola, and they must have been an early ancestor of the rainbow pencils everybody's getting for their kids for Christmas. This one had apparently two colors in each one. You can look at the lead on that one and see how they. But I get a lot of stuff like this, and this one never. This was a Pentec Color Club pencil, and I need to sharpen these. I've had these actually outside by my swing where I sit. And when we would come in from the thrift store, I bring the things outside to open them. And sometimes, depending on what it is, I leave it outside for a while. Uh, but I get a lot of really interesting things in those kind of bags. I've gotten things like this. This is a Spectrum Noir. I think it's an alcohol marker and different things like that I get at the thrift stores. But I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for coming. I had no makeup on today. I'm just home here, and nobody's going to see me anyway. So, anyway, thanks for coming. I'll be back on with part 3 real soon. Yes, I have enough for probably part 99. Have a great day and a Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then. Bye.